As we get a little bit more into the fall, where are the fish likely to move to, and where should we be looking for them? Good morning, guys and girls. October 18th. My goodness, October 18th. Cool nights and incredibly beautiful days. Chilly mornings, but golly, it gets warm in a hurry. It's really, really nice. We're having those cold fronts that now come in a little bit more often, keeping some of those days in the 60s, but a lot of them still in the 70s here in southern Oklahoma. I hope it's beautiful wherever you are. I know that the trees are getting prettier everywhere. I know that that's happening. We're looking at Hebrews. Pause to figure out who makes the coffee. Hebrews, obviously. Hebrews 12:1. Let us run with endurance the race that is set before us. I'm reading from a Catch a Better Life book. We have a Catch a Better Life channel with Jimmy Houston on YouTube. If you're not subscribed to that channel, go in there and subscribe to that channel right now. 21,000 of the best people in the world are on that channel. Hebrews 12:1 says, let us run with endurance the race that is set before us. Run with endurance the race that is set before us. Here's what I wrote about that. Years ago, BASS had the brilliant idea that we should combine bass fishing tournaments with bass boat racing. Bass boat racing, that's right. A tournament with a bass boat race involved. After all, we all love to race, and we had bass boats that would practically fly. BASS tried it in a couple of tournaments, but it went over like a lead balloon as a serious competition for the public. It's a little bit dangerous, too, I got to admit. I got to admit also, though, all the competitors loved it. I'm telling you what, everybody loved it. Two things grabbed me in today's verse. Let us run with endurance the race that is set before us. One, we got to run our own race. We got to run the race that God has given us. Don't worry about somebody else's race. One of the problems that we have many times in life is getting concerned about somebody else's race. We look at somebody and we're envious. We look at somebody and they're making more money we are. We're looking for somebody and we're starting and we're sitting on the bench and they're starting on the basketball team. We can't run somebody else's race. Don't worry about somebody else's race. We won't all run the race of a Major League Baseball player or an NBA star. We won't all run the race of a preacher or a president. I sure wouldn't want to run that race. I wouldn't take that job if they forced it down my throat. God gave you and me, here's the killer deal. God gave you and me our own special races. He gave each of us our own races. The second is we got to give it all we got and never give up. We've got to run the race with endurance. Give it everything we have. 110% effort, 24/7. Jesus ran his race knowing that the finish line would be the cross. Jesus ran his race day by day by day, knowing that the cross was lying in front of him. But that wasn't really the finish, was it? No. Walking out of that grave was the victory. Eternity, and heaven was the prize. We've got that same race. Guys and girls, let's race. Let's race. Here's our tip for today. Fish often suspend out away from the bank in late fall. You have a lot of things that happen during the fall. The main thing that's happening is our days are getting shorter, our nights are getting longer, and the weather is getting cooler. In many places around the country in the fall, it's downright cold right now, or at least for the southern boy, we call downright cold. But as that water cools, that we have less sunlight during the day, the bass will go on a fall feeding frenzy, and they feed mainly on shad. Depends on what they have to eat. Some places they're eating salmon. Some places they're eating crappie. Some places they're eating just bluegill. Some places they're eating crawfish. A lot of things, but shad in the South is pretty much the main thing. They go on a big fall feed and they just gorge themselves. It's a great time of the year to fish. The weather's beautiful. The fish are biting really, really good. A lot of fish in shallow water. As those nights become a little bit longer, a little bit cooler, those days become a little bit shorter, the fish will start to move out away from the bank and they will suspend. And they will be out there suspended through December, January, and February here in the South. That's the time of the year we catch some of those big giants using our live scope finding those big giant fish suspended. So look out in open water, several hundred yards away from the bank, for suspended bass in the fall. When they start moving out there, you can really, really whack them. Guys and girls, go out there and have you a great one. And remember, I sure do love you.